Alright, so let's try your homework. It asked you to do 10 to 12, so let's get started with number 10. For number 10, it says determine the angle in the design of the street light shown in the figure. Okay, so this is what the figure looks like. Then you have a bulb, something like this. Alright. It's telling you that this is our angle. We have B, A, and C, the light. And this, let's see, this is 2, this is 3, and this is 4.5. And the way that we would do this is just a law of cosines problem. We want to figure out what angle B is. So to figure out angle B, we'd use the cosine of angle B is equal to a squared plus c squared minus b squared over 2ac. And if we do that here, a squared would be 3 squared plus 2 squared minus 4.5 squared over 2 times 3 times 2. That comes out to negative 7.25 divided by 12. And if we take the inverse cosine of that, of negative 7.25 divided by 12, that gives us an angle of 127.2 degrees. Okay, so now let's go to number 11. Number 11, it's similar to a problem we did in class. On a map, Minneapolis is 165 millimeters due west of Albany. However you want to say it. That's 165 millimeters due west to get to Minneapolis. Phoenix is 216 millimeters from Minneapolis. And Phoenix is 368 miles from Albany. All right, find the bearing of Minneapolis from Phoenix. So here we go. We're looking to figure out what this angle is. So we're going to need some angles here. In order to find angles, we have to use law of cosines. So what I'm going to do is I'll call this A, B, C. And let's figure out what angle B is. Now the cosine of angle B is going to equal a squared plus c squared minus b squared over 2ac. And if we take the inverse cosine of this, we get, let's see here, 165 squared plus 216 squared minus 368 squared is negative 61543. 2 times 165 times 216 is 71280. And the inverse cosine of negative 61543 divided by 71280 is 149.7 degrees. All right, and if we know that, we could figure out what angle C is. So we're going to do just kind of filling in here, 368 over the sine of 149.7 is equal to 216 divided by the sine of angle C. So 216 times the sine of 149.7 divided by 368, and the inverse sine of that is angle C is 17.2. If we do 180 minus 149.7 minus 17.2, we get that this angle is 13.1 degrees. And let's see what else. Well, if we draw that crosshair there, and that's the same crosshair as right here, this angle would be the same as this angle, alternate interior angles. That would be 17.2. So angle X would be 90 degrees minus 13.1 minus 17.2, which is 59.7. All right, so let's see what we want here. For part A, it's asking from the bearing of Minneapolis from Phoenix. So from Phoenix to Minneapolis, the bearing would be, we're going north first, and then we're going 59.7 degrees east. And then for part B, it's asking us to find the bearing from Albany from Phoenix. So we're going from Phoenix to Albany. And from Phoenix to Albany, that would be this angle right here. So we're going north, and then we're going east, but we have to do 59.7 plus 13.1, and that's 72.8 degrees. All right, we have one more to do. Let's go to number 12. Number 12, we have a baseball player in center field is playing approximately 330 feet from the television camera that is behind home plate. Okay, so let's see here. Here's home plate, and that's where the camera is. And let's see here. The baseball player is 330 feet from that camera. So here's the player, and he's 330 feet away from the camera. A batter hits a fly ball that goes to the wall 420 feet from the camera. Okay. Approximate the number of feet the center fielder has to run to make the catch if the camera turns 6 degrees to follow the play. So right now it's looking at the player, but it has to turn 6 degrees to watch where the ball is. And the ball goes to the wall 420 feet away from home plate. We're trying to figure out how far does the player have to run to get to the ball. All right, well, that's an easy law of cosines problem. I'm going to make this A, B, and C. It just helped me remember my formula. So I know what angle A is. I just want to figure out what side A is. And the formula for that, A squared would equal B squared plus C squared minus 2BC times the cosine of angle A. A squared would be 330 squared plus 420 squared minus 2 times 330 times 420 times the cosine of angle A. See what that is? 330 squared plus 420 squared minus 2 times 330 times 420 times the cosine of angle 6, or 6 degrees. That comes out to 9618.5, and if we take the square root of both sides, we get 98.1 feet. That's how far the player has to run to get to the ball. Alright, so just make sure you complete your quiz tonight. Good luck, and have a nice day.